I'm Grant Boone, joined by Serge Gasore, former ACU All-America runner and the author of a new book, My Day to Die, Running for My Life. It tells the story of Serge's childhood growing up in war-torn Rwanda. Serge, why did you write the book?
I wrote this book because I wanted to let the world know that there's injustices going on around. Secondly, I wanted to write this book because both of my kids were born here, and I never wanted them to take things for granted. I wanted to go back home and make differences in the lives of other children. Also, I wanted to write this book because I wanted to get out every evil idea that was in my mind. And one way to get rid of that is to write it, put it somewhere, and just think about the future instead of thinking about the past. Although it's always good to remember, because if you don't remember where you came from, you don't know where you're going.
You witnessed evil incarnate when you were growing up. Many of us in the U.S. have, in the last several years, gotten a glimpse of what life was like in Rwanda through movies, through books. From your experience, give us a sense of what growing up in that country was like.
Growing in that country, early was good because we didn't have hate among us until 1990s, and that is during my childhood. We used to share meals, we used to pray together, both tribes, but all of a sudden in 1990, hate started, divisions started. We lived in poverty, but that didn't keep us from enjoying life. We always enjoyed life. We were Christians. During that time, my country had over 90% of Christians. But in 1994, everything turned to worse. So I really didn't have a childhood. I would say that because the time I was going to enjoy childhood, that's when I saw my grandmother being killed in front of me. That's when I was abused by my own people. So early life was not good.
How in the world were you able to make it out of Rwanda and get to Abilene Christian University to run?
When I was in high school, after noticing a lot of obstacles, a lot of barriers I was facing, I just decided to focus on academic and also focus on sports. And my dream was to one day have a door open overseas so I can get a better education and then help to change my country. Because I know a lack of education was the main reason 1 million people can be killed in a month. And I did well. I finished high school with a presidential scholarship. And at the same time, because my running capability was high, ACU reached out to me and said, would you come and run for our program? That's how I ended up at ACU.
You wound up becoming a conference champion. You were an All-America runner while you were here. What was the most important thing that happened in your life while you were here running and competing for Abilene Christian?
I grew spiritually, mentally, and psychologically, because these are things you learn from your coaches when they are telling you to work hard, expecting to be paid off, when you are having humble professors who makes themselves available to go over materials that you don't understand, especially when English is your second language or third or fourth or fifth. And when you see that, you grow, you want to help. You want to help as much as you've been helped. And as you might know, I started children's home in Rwanda. I provide Medicare for children in Rwanda. And all those things came in my mind when I came at ACU. When I looked back and I say, I can't sit back and relax. I want to help those children that are living life I lived, children that are suffering. So I think I learned and I gained something I can never pay back at ASU.
What would you love to see happen as a result of this book?
As a result of this book, I would love for all nations to stand up and work hard to stop killings that are going on all over the world, Sudan, Congo, Central Africa, Syria. Children are being taken to join army by force. There's drug issue in Mexico, everywhere, in Asia, everywhere. So I feel like people should stand up and do more to stop this.
Well, he was an All-America athlete at Abilene Christian, and now he's an author, Serge Gasore. It's a remarkable story of survival and his journey to forgiveness. And you can learn more about the book and order it on Amazon.com. For Serge Gasore, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.